Hi guys, it's the Island Girl and I'm back. And today I'm reacting to British accents rank from easiest to hardest, alright? So we're going to get into this one. I'm not getting this from English with Lucy. So to all who are new here, come on in, rock back, put a smile on your face and enjoy. To all my regular, schmegular, day one, sweetie pie, sweetie poos, come on in and do what? Rock back. Relax and enjoy, all right? Don't forget to go in the comment section and tell me what you'd like me to react to next, because it will be done. Let's get into this video, because I want to hear. Here we go. Now.
We have 10 accents, and the person who is ranked at number 10, i.e. the easiest to understand according to my students, is Queen Elizabeth II, okay. Of course. It helps a lot that she speaks very, very slowly, and this was a formal broadcast. Let's have a listen.
King James may not have anticipated quite how important sport and games were to become in promoting harmony and common interests. But from the scriptures in the Bible which bears his name, we know that nothing is more satisfying than the feeling of belonging to a group who are dedicated to helping each other.
I understood her clearly.
And now let's listen one more time with subtitles on screen so you can check how much of it you understand.
King James may not have anticipated quite how important sport and games were to become in promoting harmony and common interests. But from the scriptures in the Bible which bears his name, we know that nothing is more satisfying than the feeling of belonging to a group who are dedicated to helping each other.
So the Queen speaks the Queen's English. She speaks with a received pronunciation accent on the very top posh end of received pronunciation. Now, this is an accent that is traditionally regarded as the standard for British English, but things are changing. Originally, this accent was called public school pronunciation, and public school actually means private school, so an independent school. In the UK. State school is education paid for by the government. Public or private school, you pay for yourself. So this is an accent that was traditionally learnt. And it's quite interesting because it doesn't have a specific geographical location. It was originally spoken in public schools all across the British Isles. It was kind of a sign of class. A couple of decades ago, the majority of what you would hear on the radio and on the television would be received pronunciation. Okay. But now that is not the case, and rightly so.
So I understood everything the Queen said without the subtitles. I didn't even need the subtitles. And I like what she said. She spoke slowly, which, you know, you heard everything. And I just found something out. I did not know your public school mean private school. Your state school is the free one. Listen, I'm learning. I'm so learning. Let's go on to number 9.
Let's move on to number 9. Okay. And this is a very attractive to me celebrity. It is Jason Statham speaking in his gorgeous Cockney accent. I know a lot of you are huge fans of the Cockney accent. Mm-hmm. Let's have a listen.
And you have to accept that. I mean, at the end of the day, we shouldn't be moaning because we're hired actors. You come in, you get paid, shut your mouth, do your work and go home. It should be a little bit of that, but sometimes you want to try and get involved and you try and collaborate and get things done.
Can we just have a moment of appreciation for men rocking bald heads? Absolutely love them. Right, let's listen again with subtitles and see how much you understood.
You have to accept that. I mean, at the end of the day, we shouldn't be moaning because we're hired actors. You come in, you get paid, shut your mouth, do your work and go home. It should be a little bit of that, but sometimes you want to try and get involved and you try and collaborate and get things done.
Okay, adore this accent. It originates from the East End of London. Supposedly, you were only a true Cockney if you were born within earshot of Bow bells. Within earshot means within listening distance, within hearing distance. And Bow bells are the bells in a church, a historic East London church. Now, the East End of London is changing. And a lot of the people who were born there or who grew up there are moving further out to Essex. So it was very interesting to me to see that number 8 was the Essex.
Okay, before she goes on to number 8. Now I love me I call him Statham. So see, there you go. But the Cockney baby, ooh child. I ain't going to sit here and tell you that I don't love it. I love it. I love the way it comes. It just tickles my body. I love the way it sounds. Period, point blank. I don't know about nobody else, but I love it. And then I just hear him say, earshot, the bell. See, I'm telling you, I'm learning. I'm moving, boy. I'm moving. All right, let's see what number 8 is, because the Queen English, yes, but Cockney, baby, I want to see. And I understood everything he said with and without the captions.
Essex accent. So let's play a clip of that.
Essex
we have a celebrity
accent.
called Gemma Collins, who I personally adore.
Okay.
She is so sassy, so entertaining. If I ever feel sad, I look at her top moments on YouTube because...
I should check her
what
out.
a character. She's just completely herself.
Okay.
I've become one of the biggest reality stars in Britain. I am a global icon. It's weird, but that's the GC, and that's what I do. I make great TV. I provide you with entertainment, and I kind of explain it to people. It's like Paul O'Grady and Lily Savage. You know, it's how I make my money.
I mean, she's so confident, isn't she? I loved the guy, Eamon Holmes' face, just as she was praising herself. Brilliant. Let's listen again with subtitles.
I've become one of the biggest reality stars in Britain. I am a global icon. It's weird, but that's the GC, and that's what I do. I make great TV. I provide you with entertainment. And I kind of explain it to people. It's like Paul O'Grady and Lily Savage. You know, it's how I make my money.
Okay, so the Essex accent is found in and around Essex. A lot of people from the East End, originally Cockney, did move to Essex or are continuing to move to Essex. It is like a mixture of the estuary accent and the Cockney accent. It's become incredibly popular over the past decade due to a TV show called The Only Way is Essex. It's a reality TV show that follows young people in Essex, very glamorous people, and Gemma was one of them, and her career has just exploded. Okay, moving on to number 7.
Okay, I understood everything she said. I love it. I love the cock. She says it's a mixture of Cockney and Essex, I think she said, but it's beautiful. And like I said, I don't know, but I just love the way you guys talk. It just the way she's, I can't do it. But it's beautiful, man. I understood all 3 so far. So let's see what number 7 has to give.
And we're going to another country. We're not in England anymore.
Not in England?
We are
Wales.
in Wales.
Okay.
And it is the Cardiff accent as spoken by Charlotte Church, who is an opera singer.
Well, I suppose in terms of what the film Ender Milk Wood is such an incredible play. Dylan Thomas's writing is so unusual. And I'm not really, I'm quite a newbie to acting. I've done bits and bobs in the past.
Very interesting there. Can you hear her say unusual?
Yes.
Where I'd say unusual. So it's almost like she's adding in an extra syllable there. And she also said incredible with an R sound that I struggle to do. It's like a thing. It's like a rolling R sound. I love listening to the Welsh accents. They're very melodious to me. Let's listen again with subtitles.
Well, I suppose in terms of what the film Ender Milk Wood is such an incredible play. Dylan Thomas's writing is so unusual. I'm not really, I'm quite a newbie to acting. I've done bits and bobs in the past.
If you are interested in learning a little bit more about the Welsh accents, then I highly recommend a comedy called Gavin and Stacey. It actually goes quite well with this video because it shows an Essex family and a Welsh family joining because the son and the daughter are getting married. hilarious, some fabulous Welsh accents in there. Let's move on to number 6.
Okay, I understood everything she said. It didn't rackle my body because it didn't have that accent. So I don't know how to explain it, but the Cockney and the mixture, the Cockney and the Essex was, to me, I love that. But this one, she sounded okay to me. I hear the rolling of the R, just a few, but she sounds like me in a sense. Let's move on to number 6. Guys, let's see what 6 is.
Number 6, it's the Yorkshire accent.
Yorkshire
as
accent.
spoken by Louis Tomlinson from One Direction.
Basically, right, I mean, my name is Louis, but I didn't love it when I was younger. Like, once I was old enough. I don't know why, I just didn't really love it. So I got known as Louis. All my friends from home called me Louis. And then I get there, it's close enough, sorry. And then I get there on my first day at the X Factor with Simon and, you know what I mean, all the judges, and he called me Louis.
So for me, one of the most distinctive things about his accent is that he says me instead of my name instead of my name. Mm-hmm. That's really distinctive to me. Where I'd say love, he says love.
Love.
I didn't love it. But for me, it's I didn't love it. I find this accent very warm. Love.
I love this accent.
It's just lovely, isn't
Straight
it? Let's listen again, but with subtitles so you
okay.
can see how much you understood.
I understood everything.
Basically, right, I mean, my name is Louis, but I didn't love it when I was younger. Like, once I was old enough. I don't know why, I just didn't really love it. So I got known as Louis. All my friends from home called me Louis. And then I get there, it's close enough, sorry. And then I get there on my first day at the X Factor with Simon and, you know what I mean, all the judges, and he called me Louis.
Did you also hear him not pronounce the H in home? He said, I would say home, from
I love it.
From I'm not sure if that's quite right. From I'll need a bit of help with my Yorkshire accent. Another thing I noticed, he said, I were instead of I was. When I were younger. When I was younger is what I'd say. That's part of his dialect.
Love it.
Okay, number 5. So
hold on. Love it. She's going on to number 5. I love it. I love it. I love it. And it just feels like it just played with my ears. Just I'm getting over myself here. But geez, you whiz, baby. I love it. And I understood everything. And I love the me. Yeah.
Okay, number 5.
Okay,
so
number
this
5.
is sort of mid-range in difficulty for you.
Okay.
It's the Brummie accent.
Brummie.
Which is the accent from Birmingham. And we have Adrian Chiles.
He keep hearing James and all
like actually, when they're trying to get me to come on here, they give a list of all the brilliant people you've had on the past. That has the opposite effect on me. I say, you know, Richard E. Grant and stuff. Why would anybody be interested? So anyway, I suppose that's my sort of.
You were just the best I could get.
Well, many a true word said.
Yeah.
So Adrian doesn't actually have the strongest Brummie accent that I've ever heard. But if you find him hard to understand, he is speaking quite quickly.
Yeah,
here.
exactly.
So
fast.
if you're managing to understand him, you're doing a really good job. Let's listen again with subtitles.
So anyway, actually, when they're trying to get me to come on here, they give a list of all the brilliant people you've had on the past. That has the opposite effect on me. I say, you know, Richard E. Grant and stuff. Why would anybody be interested? So anyway, I suppose that's my sort of.
You were just the best I could get.
Well, many a true word said.
Yeah.
Also, how awesome is that sign language interpreter? She was really
moving,
conveying the comedy quite well. Now, as lovely as this accent may sound to you, this is actually one of the British accents that faces the most discrimination within the country. There is another one that I'll talk about as well. When people run opinion polls, it often comes up as one of the most disfavoured. Very interestingly, when they run similar opinion polls to overseas visitors, so non-native English speakers, the Brummie accent seems to do quite well. They find it very melodious. This implies that it does badly in polls because of prejudice rather than a genuine dislike of the sound of it.
Interesting.
I'd be interested to know your thoughts and to know if there are any accents in your country that you think are kind of unfairly regarded. I know that living in Spain, I learned Spanish with an Andalusian accent, And I have definitely been on the receiving end of criticism. Some of it I take as well-meaning. A lot of it comes from people from other countries who are saying, this sort of accent's ugly, you should learn my accent. But it can be quite hurtful, to be honest, because that's the accent I speak with now. Let's be...
Okay, yeah, people will always prefer, they always have that set of people who will prefer to hear something different, or that one don't sound good, or you're speaking the same language as them, but it's like, oh, you're doing the bad. I don't get it. As for him, I had to listen keenly to what he was saying because it was fast. That's the only thing. I didn't really hear a thick accent in it, but it was fast. But I like it. It's fast, the way I talk. Fast. So it's soothing. It's still fine. Number 4.
Move on to the next one. You've rated this as number 4. And I know I shouldn't have favourites, but I think I can. This is my favourite. I absolutely
so what is it? Northern
love
Ireland.
The way this accent
is
sounds,
coming from.
and I love the person who has this accent. It is Nadine Coyle from Girls Aloud. It's just a blessing on the ears. It really is. She speaks with a Derry accent.
Derry accent.
I enjoy cooking, baking and stuff, working with flour and making sweet things I'm not so used to, more savoury, chopping, kind of, when you just zone out, you put your music on and you just chop.
Love it!
Have loads of stuff.
Love it! Just chop and cook with flour with her.
I love it!
It's just lovely. See if you can notice that where I would say flour, she says something more like flyer. And she also says mecking instead of making, as I would say.
I heard it.
Chopping. Really, really distinct differences. Let's listen again with subtitles.
I enjoy cooking, baking and stuff, working with flour and making sweet things I'm not so used to, more savoury, chopping, kind of, when you just zone out, you put your music on and you just chop, just have loads of stuff.
Love it.
Lovely, truly lovely, love it. Let's move on to number 3.
Back in
Another
England.
Girls Aloud member. So you voted these two quite high up on the difficulty scale. Cheryl speaks with a Geordie accent.
A Geordie
which you'll find
accent.
in the city of Newcastle and the surrounding areas.
Okay,
Let's have a
Cheryl.
listen.
We did 3 hours the night before, and those girls are... So there's a girl out there called Charm who I used when I did my own solo tour. I just absolutely adore her. I love working with her. And we did 3 hours with those girls, and those girls were sick. So I was just watching them the whole time, like, I want to do it like her.
She's so softly spoken, isn't she? She speaks really, really gently. Let's listen again with subtitles, and then I've got something to say about this accent.
We did 3 hours the night before, and those girls are... So there's a girl out there called Charm who I used when I did my own solo tour. I just absolutely adore her. I love working with her. And we did 3 hours with those girls, and those girls were sick. So I was just watching them the whole time, like, I want to do it like her.
Love
Did
it.
you hear her use the word sick? Sick, I think I've mentioned it in a video recently. It's a slang word for cool. I remember finding it very confusing as a child because I thought it meant bad, but that's really cool. Okay, so I wanted to talk a bit more about accent discrimination here because Cheryl, I remember she was in the news quite a lot. I'd say around 10 years ago. She was a judge on the X Factor, a singing talent competition in the UK, and she was invited over to the US to be a judge on the US version, and then she was quickly fired from it, supposedly, and apparently it was due to the producers being worried that her accent would be difficult to understand. Now, I don't know if this was just to generate publicity, but it sounded pretty harsh.
I understood
I remember feeling really bad for her at the time.
her.
I feel that even if her accent was kind of new to viewers of the X Factor in the US, they would have gotten used to it quite quickly. So I don't know if I agree with that decision, but I imagine that it was just for publicity. Maybe this was all decided before. Right, let's...
I understood everything she said, even without the subtitles. But I gotta be honest with you. I'm more enjoying number 4. Like her favorite, I enjoy it. Number 9, Listen, my skin is on fire. I'm loving this. Let's see what number 2 is.
Move on to number 2.
Okay.
Number 2 is a comedian that I'm very fond of. He's called Frankie Boyle. He tells the most outrageous jokes. He really pushes the boundaries and oversteps them quite frequently.
I don't know who that is.
He speaks with a Glaswegian accent from Glasgow in Scotland. Let's have a listen.
My cousins, when I was growing up in Ireland, their dad was like a fisherman, like on a trawler in Ireland, and he would go away for 2 weeks at a time. And I remember thinking that's the worst thing you could possibly imagine, you know, is that your dad's going to just disappear for 2 weeks, and now it's like, you know, 2 months would be quite standard on a tour.
Very, very distinctive tour.
He's rolling his R's.
I'm not even going to try to mimic it. This, for me, is one of the hardest accents for me to mimic. One thing I find quite distinctive is that where I would say is, they say as, or instead of kind, for me, they say kind. Let's have a listen again with subtitles, see how much you picked up.
My cousins, when I was growing up in Ireland, their dad was like a fisherman, like on a trawler in Ireland, and he would go away for 2 weeks at a time. And I remember thinking that's the worst thing you could possibly imagine, you know, is that your dad's going to just disappear for 2 weeks, and now it's like, you know, 2 months would be quite standard on a tour.
And the last accent, the accent that you...
I understood him. I understood what he said. Yeah, it was not difficult at all. I just had to listen keenly. Let's see number one.
You voted as hardest to understand.
Hardest to understand.
In all fairness, I don't think I gave you the easiest clip. He's speaking very quickly, but his name's John Bishop and he speaks with a Scouse accent.
Scouse.
And there's been a lot of press recently of people who speak with a Scouse accent coming out and talking about the discrimination they've faced.
Oh.
Let's have a listen to the comedian John Bishop speaking with his Scouse accent.
Scouse.
Have a listen to those distinctive features.
Yeah, I've wrote about them in the book, but I've called them Generation Z because I've given them a full title, because I'm old enough to call things by the full title rather than yourself who's gone Gen Z.
Yeah, that's also the only clip with music in the background as well, so I'll bear that in mind for next time to make sure it's as fair as possible. However, it is a very distinctive accent. When he says but I, he almost says bara. It's very hard for me to reproduce. He almost rolls his R sounds. Another thing I notice is when they say things like school or cool, they tend to say skill or kill, almost adding in an extra syllable.
Yeah, I've wrote about them in the book, but I've called them Generation Z because I've given them a full title, because I'm old enough to call things by the full title rather than yourself who's gone Gen Z.
Right, that is the end of today's video. Those were the 10 accents that you helped me rank from easiest to understand to hardest to understand. I really enjoyed making this video. I love looking.
I don't think Cheryl is in the right place because she was very easy to understand. But that last one a while ago, I don't know if you guys noticed my face, but that was difficult to understand. It was very difficult to understand. Love the accent though, don't get me wrong. Love it, love it, love it. But I'm not gonna lie. Like I said, you all know which one I love. You saw my reaction, but I love it overall, man. That deep accent, the Ireland, the Irish accent. Listen, I'm not gonna sit here and remember everything because I don't remember them. I just love the sound. Number 4 is amazing. Jason, number 9 is also amazing, and I think the singer, I don't remember his name. Louis. Oh baby! Listen, the Queen Ashton accent, easy to understand. But the last one right here, oh Jesus. I don't know. I was struggling. I hope you guys enjoyed. This is the Island Girl. I'm running out of here. Don't forget to go in the comment section. Tell me what you'd like me to react to next, because it will be done. Not only that, don't forget to do what? Right back. Relax. Put a smile on your face and continue to enjoy. Love you guys, and I'll definitely see you guys in another video. Bye.